Okay, hey everyone, hey internet. Welcome to another episode of Christian Radio. I'm Krisjan, joined here by Kim and my good friend Cody. What's up, guys?
Hey, how you doing? Good morning.
Doing good. Just drinking some coffee out of a Lochsa Engineering mug.
As you should.
No, not as cool as my unicorn.
It is not a unicorn, no.
I'm feeling kind of left out here.
You know.
Yeah,
I'm just like
right. So right before we kind of started here, we were talking about a show. And it's one that I'm not super familiar with. Cody obviously knows what it is. The Hot Ones.
Hot Ones.
Yeah. My only frame of reference is from Saturday Night Live when Maya Rudolph was playing Beyonce, like sweating and, oh, Beyonce thinks the wings are hot or whatever. Like, we should do something like that here.
Oh yeah.
What is something that we could do that would be like, you know, construction or engineering, development, real estate related?
I don't know. Anything you kind of intertwine the two would be entertaining.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I brought cookies today, so if you guys want to chime in on some cookies,
I'll try.
We'll taste test.
I'm a little apprehensive of a grain-free cookie, but you know.
I got some grains.
Don't
I got some grain ones.
Judge the
Extra gluten.
grain-free cookie.
No, I am lucky that I tolerate the gluten. I more than tolerate it. Like
Not
I
all
require
of us
it.
are
Yeah.
as
Right.
gifted
I'll
in
take
that
your
area.
side. I'll take your side gluten.
You know, we actually talked about in our office just for fun, because you know, you need like extracurricular activities in
Right.
the office. But we've talked about there's a ramen, like spicy ramen challenge you can do.
Yeah.
Where you can buy those bowls from
Oh, yeah.
the stores that are
Oh,
like
yeah.
super spicy, and doing like different levels of the spicy ramen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's not a bad
I
idea.
mean, really.
I like it. Yeah.
Do we really need a reason?
No, we don't. We do not. We do not.
We can
Let's
figure
be
something
real.
out. Maybe introduce some sort of local cuisine into the mix.
Seriously, no, that'd be fun. That'd be super fun. So Cody, man, what's new with you guys? What's new at ConDoc? What's new at the Armgasis?
ConDoc's actually big things, big changes. It's been it's an awesome first two quarters. Actually, we're in the third quarter now. I believe it's going by the summer's been awesome. We've got a lot of new clients, a lot of new features,
Nice.
that we just released and we're releasing currently. So we've got a new service for subcontractors as well, so they can do internal private plan markup, measurements, takeoffs, daily reporting, just for subcontractors, regardless of what the general contractor needs, so they can
Nice.
communicate and share
Nice.
communication, and do all their communication basically internally. That's a big thing, right?
And I think that's a good point to make, that it doesn't matter what system the general contractor is using. They can still use their own independently of whatever else anybody's using.
Yep.
Interesting. That's cool.
True. Yeah. So that's a big one for us. We've got a large masonry firm basically that out of California, Arizona that just started using us. We've got a couple local guys interested here too. So that's a big deal for us.
Nice.
Another thing is we're just releasing a new feature for punch lists. So GCs can go back and they can take out all their punch lists, and it's going to be good. It's good stuff.
Yeah. So they don't have to email a spreadsheet for the subs anymore, or what they need to do. Wow.
Everything's digital, instantaneous. No more paper. No more clipboard stuff.
Totally. It's not an actual punch list anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually, you're punching with your finger on a screen.
Yeah.
So so big stuff for us.
Rad.
We're having a great year. Things are rolling, and ConDoc's actually kind of rolling in. We were a subsidiary. We're actually rolling into our own company now. So we're scaling, and things are awesome. So.
That's killer. That's super cool. Kimberly, what's new with you, man?
Well, busy, super busy. Like one thing, we hear, I think you probably have heard recently, everything's on back order, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything. And I mean, we know in our industry, materials are way out there. But I mean, everything is. I went to get a coffee yesterday, cups. Don't have cups. Don't have,
That's so crazy.
literally, you can't.
I haven't
Right?
experienced that yet. That's crazy.
Our
Yeah.
offices, you went through this too. You have to get a different style of cup.
Yeah, so,
Crazy.
I mean, we're just tearing, obviously it doesn't affect us in our office because we're on the design side of things. So for us, we can do what we do.
Sure. By the time you get around to designing and specifying that thing, when it gets time to construction, who knows if it'll be available or
Right,
not?
absolutely.
Yeah, and there's no way to predict that, really.
But, the one thing that Lochsa is really great about is that we are accessible to our clients the whole way through the project. So, once our piece of the pie is done, that doesn't mean that we're done. We're still going to be available for questions and, for the boots on the ground that are on the job site. But, they're really struggling right now to get their materials.
Yeah. Sure.
And so, interestingly though, a lot of our projects that are modular or more of the off-site construction projects are not struggling as much.
Interesting. Is that just because of the nature of how they're doing it, where they're procuring stuff probably ahead of time more, stockpiling more of it because it's just more of the same stuff,
think so.
And then so they just have a better backlog back stock of stuff.
I definitely think so.
Interesting.
I think when you're purchasing that way, you're not running into those same issues where, as on a traditional build, obviously, you're kind of waiting for
right
till you have to, And I guess I heard yesterday that there's some materials for one of our projects is 16 weeks out, like some specific connection.
See you next year.
Yeah, 16 weeks.
Do you
Crazy.
see it leveling out anytime soon? Or everybody's kind of watching the trend as much as possible. But,
I hope so.
Yeah.
We've really been watching kind of the wood steel situation, the prices, right? Because they were, first wood went crazy and steel was cheaper, and then steel went crazy, and then now they're I think they kind of leveled out a little bit.
Right.
And now you can't get anything that was coming from China. You can't get that, which to me is a great opportunity for an American company.
100%. Yeah.
Like if you
step up to the plate.
right.
Yeah, if we're gonna bring any of that stuff back, now is the time.
Now's the time.
No,
You're an entrepreneur and you're looking for
Yeah.
you know
how to make steel? Go for it, dude.
Like,
Yeah, make
right.
some steel.
Make that little connection that somebody can't get.
Totally.
But that's kind of what we're saying. So it's not, we're busy. We've got a lot going on. We've got projects coming in the door, thankfully.
Cool.
We're very, very grateful.
Cool.
And we have amazing clients, and we continue to be really blessed with building relationships. That I think the work that we have put in since 2008, when we had that crash, and we worked really hard, is paying off now.
Totally.
Yeah, and I think that would be the advice I would just give to anybody now, is just to keep those relationships. As when we're in marketing and business development, this is what it's all about. The relationships that we work so hard to build. This is the time that they are the most important right now.
Yeah, pick up the phone call, reach out to your relationships and connections.
Oh, absolutely.
Keep that.
Well, yeah, and in marketing, the saying, I don't think I'm going to say it quite right, but the saying, kind of the adage has always been, if you don't feel like you need to be marketing, that's when you need to be marketing the most.
Yeah.
Right.
Because, whenever that peak is, where, we've got all this work, we'll never not have this work, we're going to live forever. That's when, that's when shit kind of dies, and when
Right.
stuff, starts to, either level off or dip, and you want to be marketing and be in front of everybody and have all those relationships and everything for when it does start to go down. So you're not, stuck laying everybody off and
Totally.
scramble mode like everybody else.
And we've had clients reach out to us, and it interestingly, we work all across the United States, and there's different things happening right now across the United States. And we've had clients reach out to us whom maybe were doing really well previously, and they're struggling right now. And it's okay to reach out to a client and say, hey, do you have any work? If you have a relationship with somebody, honestly, it's okay to do that. That's
Sure.
why we're in this business. That's why we do what we do. I always kind of look at, I kind of always liken it to dating a little bit, right? If you have been in this long-term relationship with your client, it's okay to give them a call.
Yeah.
Send it.
We're comfortable. Yeah, we're just wearing robes and we're just wearing robes and hanging out. We can just talk about whatever. Yeah, we're not trying to impress each other anymore. Whatever.
Like, we don't have any airs now.
Yeah.
like I'm just gonna come straight to the point.
Yeah, just tell me what you're thinking, man. Yeah.
Never hurts to
come out and
ask.
say
It
it.
never hurts to
Well,
ask.
and that's exactly it. Yeah, it never hurts to ask, and kind of the traditional model of, marketing with consultants. Excuse me, like a structural engineer or civil engineer or whatever. Like the traditional model of marketing for that, for those companies is to just go to the architects and just market straight to them, and that's where your work comes from. And we get work from them, we do the work, we send it back, and we move on. And I know that's where you guys are so different because you push work actually to architects because of the relationships you have that are way more broad than just with these very specific clients.
Yes.
Right. And so then when an architect in who knows where West wherever calls you guys like, hey, do is there anything going on? Is there anybody we should be talking to? You know what? We actually might know some people that you should maybe talk to about some stuff.
Absolutely. Well, I think the whole industry is changing, and all of us are seeing that. And you're right. It used to be there was a way, right? There was a way, and you didn't deviate from the way. And now I think the clients a lot of times are an owner,
Totally.
an owner's rep, a developer, and what they really want is a full service team.
Yes.
They don't want to have to go searching for all these players. They just want a team that's already established.
Yeah, they want to go find the team. They don't want to assemble the team, and then they don't want to individually manage each piece of that team.
No.
They're looking for one cohesive team. How can we do this as efficiently and quickly as possible?
Absolutely.
So that way, when my project's done, when my hotel's up, or my whatever this thing I'm developing is, I can start selling stuff, get it leased out, get everybody making money sooner. I mean, that's the name of the game.
Absolutely. And, our whole thing is, honestly, at the end of the day, for structural engineering, the ultimate goal is safety. At the end of the day, what we do is safety. The architects make everything beautiful, and our goal is to make that beautiful building safe. So
Never fall down, yeah.
The goal is to not have a tragedy. Recently there's been a couple that have happened, and it's really unfortunate. And I think that's brought, though, we kind of always say, like, what we do is sort of minimized in our industry a lot, but it's very important.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the importance of what we do has been brought to light because of those recent events.
Totally. And with obviously not being a structural engineer in that space at all, were those the one in Florida specifically that I'm thinking about, was that a flaw on the part of the structural engineer? Is that something that could have been prevented with better, more responsible design or whatever?
I think they're still really investigating
that,
and I think it's gonna be a long time before they really have an answer.
Really?
I think my personal opinion, after I'm such a nerd about this stuff. Like, I love construction. I love everything about it. I love the design. I love the building. I love everything. And so when this happened, I was obsessed because I was like, how does this happen? So I've been listening to a lot of these. There's a lot of engineers that are just kind of have their own podcasts and talking about sort of what they see and what they think. And honestly, I don't think there is one answer.
Sure.
I think that this was sort of
like everything like that. It's a calamity of errors.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's never just
Sort
one
of
thing. Totally.
Yeah, absolutely. It was sort of a lot of separate small things that added up, and it was kind of the
led to this
domino
one
effect.
awful thing.
Yeah, it was just and a very series of unfortunate events that happened, and I do believe it could have been prevented if probably had they stayed on top of the maintenance is probably what it will come down to.
Interesting.
But yeah, but at the end of the day, yes. I do think, when you're talking about a building that's 40 years old, has structural engineering improved? Yes. Has material improved? Absolutely.
Sure. So in the case like that, when you mentioned maintenance, like when I think of, maintaining a property, maintaining its structural integrity is not something that I think of.
Right.
How what does that look like? How do you even do that?
So, I had to ask because I'm obviously not a structural engineer.
Yeah.
So, and that's always when I go to meetings, as, with your business development and marketing, you go into the meeting with, like, disclaimer.
Yeah.
I'm not an
So everybody
engineer.
knows I'm not an engineer
Not
here.
an engineer.
We're here to learn. We're here to
Yeah.
Not an engineer.
Yeah.
But I love to learn, and the best way to sell what we do is for me to learn as much as I can about it. But asking our engineers here, and they taught me about the spalling. Everybody's heard them talk about spalling. What is that? Well, salt water gets into the concrete. Concrete's very porous, and then the rebar that's inside the concrete begins to corrode, and as it corrodes, it expands in there, and and the concrete starts to break away, and obviously the integrity of that, say it's a column, that integrity of that column is starting to fail, right? So, but there's a lot of ways that they can fix that. And they were telling me there's actually a lot of ways. It looks bad to us, lay people. Like, we look at that and we're like, oh my God, that column's column's gonna fall down.
Get out of the way!
And I look at those pictures and I'm like, my God, why didn't they, clearly that building's gonna fall down. The pictures are terrible, but even our engineers were like, yeah, but it doesn't, nothing.
It's fine.
Yeah, they're like, nothing that they saw there was looked imminent. And it's because there are ways to fix all of those things.
Sure.
I think it's what it just
Until
comes
it's on the
down-
ground, you can still fix it.
Right.
Yeah.
And what it comes down, there's, it's kind of like you can't really predict an earthquake, right?
Right.
You can't really predict that
Totally.
something's going to happen like that, unless clearly you're starting to see things.
Yeah.
But, there's definitely a lot of ways you can fix. And we're seeing that now. I mean, a lot of those buildings, they're.
Is that something? I mean, do you, in your travels as a business development person for Lochsa Engineering, do you talk to property managers and folks about that?
I haven't. We have projects that we have done here locally, even.
Yeah. You know what would be rad? Now that since you guys are BOMA members, you should totally come do a presentation on that about hey, as building owners, here's some stuff. Structurally, you guys should, as you're maintaining these properties and owning these buildings and stuff, you should probably know and maybe pay attention to a little bit if you're not.
Absolutely. And we,
I think there's a lot of value in that, yeah.
Absolutely. We definitely can do that. And we also have here locally, we do have some historical buildings here.
Sure.
And we do have engineers on our staff that specialize in historical preservation.
Interesting. Cool.
So, obviously, preservation in itself is super important.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, especially here in Boise.
Yeah.
In a lot of places it is, but we take a lot of pride in that stuff
do.
here in our town.
We really do. But, if you're talking even about a historical building, then you add in, not only do you have to maintain the building, but you add in, I'll give you an example. We did some retrofitting for Boise High School. Well, it's a historical building, so we have to meet seismic requirements, but we can't see any of the, maintenance.
You can't see what's inside the wall.
Right,
yeah.
we don't want to see all of these things that you need to do to it.
Right.
It's a requirement, but we don't want to see it.
Sure.
So there were things that we had to do to meet the requirement, but to minimize the visual effect.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Structural stuff has always fascinated me.
Well, yeah, I mean, to me, it is fascinating. I mean, you just even look back thousands of years. Look at the pyramids.
Well, wasn't that truly the first engineering discipline was civil and structural engineering?
Yeah. Yep. And it is amazing. Oh my gosh, you guys! I just that card.
So
cardinal
popular.
sin,
Yeah.
I just.
Well, no, I'm sitting here.
Or your auto loan expired.
I've got a couple deals I'm working, so I'm kind of watching my email too. I might jump up and down and get real. I might jump up and down and get real excited.
What's really crazy is that my phone's usually on silent, and I'll lose my phone, and then I can't find it because it's on silent.
Because it's on silent. Yeah, call my phone. Oh shit, it's on silent. Yeah.
For a lot of things.
Or you go do find my iPhone and I know it's in the house. Okay, thank you. I know it's in the house. That's not very helpful.
Kim, I got a question for you. As far as structural engineering the past year, have you seen any sort of technology started to come into play as far as processes? Has it always kind of been in the realm of what you guys do, utilizing technology and moving forward and kind of implementing that moving forward, post-COVID, right? As far as communication internally and on your projects, just curious about your take on that.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that just in the last several years we've seen a real uptick
Right.
in the technology used on just projects in general, I think, between clients. Our firm was one of the first ones to start using Revit and Bluebeam.
Right.
So I think most everybody now is using Bluebeam to be able to collaborate with their clients.
Or ConDoc.
Yep.
Yeah, as they should. as well.
Ideally, ConDoc.
ConDoc.
Yeah.
So-
Blue what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Everybody's got their own tool,
Right.
Sure.
So for
As long as
yeah.
you're using something,
And I
right?
think,
Yeah.
I think for like on the design side, I think probably Bluebeam is probably more common.
Yeah,
or has
it's
been
definitely been more
common.
established for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I will tell you an interesting fact during COVID, and our staff obviously, we were going to work from home. We had to, quickly figure out, okay, what are we going to do? How are we going to do
Wasn't
this?
that
How are we
fun?
gonna-
Wasn't that so? Wasn't
Right,
that so
like-
fun figuring that shit
like,
out? Yeah, that was the
what
best.
are we going to do? How are we
Yeah.
going to talk to each other? So we
I like that.
actually
Yeah, that was awesome.
implemented a chat system that is
Okay.
used for gaming.
Okay.
So if
Like
you're
Twitch or
familiar
whatever.
with
Oh.
Discord,
You guys been watching a lot of like crime dramas and stuff, right?
we use
That's what. Yeah, we were watching one like that, and there were these like dudes wherever, like in Europe, and that's what they were using, like some chess game, and that's how they would communicate, because nobody would ever think to look there.
So what's weird is the reason that they chose Discord is because in Discord you can actually, they figured out they could send files to one another in Discord.
Interesting.
So they could.
And the files you guys send are not tiny files.
no, they're not.
Yeah.
And they're able to do that
That's so
and
crazy.
do it like in real time.
Look at you
And
guys.
so
That's awesome.
Our project managers and our engineers in training, because when you're talking about working at home, but you've got staff, young staff that is still training.
Yeah.
That's, people don't think about that. You've got, to become an engineer, and this is another thing. When you go to your 4-year university, you
Yeah.
come out, and then it's kind of like when you become a doctor. You're not a licensed engineer when you come out of school.
Thank God.
Right? You've got
it's not just
another.
handed to you.
No.
Okay.
I mean,
Oh, you half-assed through school. Cool.
Right,
Go
like,
make sure
here
this
you
building
go.
doesn't fall down
Now
now.
it's time to learn the business.
Right.
Like, here you go. Here's your license. So, they take several tests to kind of qualify themselves to work,
Mm-hmm.
and then from there they have to put in 3 to 5 years of working on
Yeah.
the job
Yeah.
training, if you
Thousands
will,
of hours or
under,
whatever it comes down to,
under
yeah.
the supervision of licensed professional
Real
engineers
world experience.
until they are ready to take their professional engineering exams
Okay,
to
that
be
makes
licensed.
sense. That makes sense.
And so it's, it's a long haul. It is really, if you think about it, it's about, it's really kind of the same length of time as it would be for a doctor.
So from the time you probably start college to licensure, you're probably looking at close to 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Absolutely. And so you've got young engineers who are needing that supervision. They need that mentorship.
Yeah.
And we, in our office, it's kind of the bullpen situation out there. We've
Yeah.
got, it's very open, and so there's a lot of collaboration happening all the time.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah. As we were getting here, I was walking in with all my podcast stuff, like, excuse me, sorry. 'Cause everybody's crowded around, like everybody's in different computers and working on stuff together. Yeah.
all the
awesome.
little cubicles, but they're always collaborative in there. And so when you're talking about everyone being individually at home, that really did put a wrench in it. But
Right.
to be
Seriously,
able to
yeah.
just be on Discord,
Right.
and they could chat one-on-one, they could send files, they could get into little group chats, they could.
Which is super interesting. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's cool. I've personally seen at ConDoc, we've seen an uptick in the newer generations already being, if you think about it, all these kids that have come out of college or the programs that they've been going through, they're a generation that grew up with a device or some sort of technology
100%,
already.
yeah,
And
yeah.
they've already have the mindset established, utilize that in everything they do.
Totally.
Whether it's at home or it's a job life. It's cool to see that evolution starting to form around basically construction industry.
Yeah.
Engineering.
Well, yeah, and it's going
Yeah.
to change it a ton. Gen Xers like us, right? Like, I would so much rather meet in person. Like, I can do it this way, because we grew up as kids without
Right.
technology and
Have
stuff.
that
Yeah, so we have,
experience.
have totally both of them. But yeah, if it was my choice, dude, I'll meet in person
Oh, yeah.
every day of the week, all the time.
And they would much rather just be texting
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Well, and
email
I've
or-
definitely found that even here kind of, I don't want to say post-COVID because it kind of feels like we're still in the middle of it or whatever, but post 2020, like I've even found myself like with having meetings with people, I'm like, dude, can we just like Zoom real quick? Like it's almost, and a lot of people are asking me that too. Let's just Zoom for 5 minutes. We don't have to drive across town. We don't have to buy a cup of coffee, sit down or whatever, because we're talking about this one real specific deal and this thing. So yeah, we can just do that. That's easier.
I saw a meme the other day. It's something towards along the lines of, if there isn't food involved in the meeting, we might as well make this
Make it an email. Yeah. That's no joke. Yeah.
Yeah, not wrong.
No.
But we've had a lot of success too in our office. We've had, I think now this is the 3rd high school intern.
That's awesome.
In high school?
Yes.
That's rad.
So we've got one here who is actually in his junior year at BSU in the engineering program.
Yeah.
He started when he was in high school at Mountain View in the engineering program there.
That's awesome. Yeah.
He would come after school and they would just give him simple stuff like little red lines to do
Yeah.
and just like whatever.
Just get familiar with some stuff. Yeah.
Then
So
he once he graduated, he joined our BIM team.
Cool.
And then started school at CWI and then switched
That's so
over
rad.
to. But I'm telling you, he is one of our most talented.
Yeah, we've got three main developers on ConDoc that started out as interns, and now they're pretty much running the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And
Dude,
they started from high school as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what civil engineering, structural engineering was until I was probably 25 years
Right.
old. I had no idea. In high school, I didn't know what that was, man.
What a great opportunity.
If it didn't have skateboard wheels on it or strings on it, I didn't give a shit what it was.
Right?
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Right.
Well, and the one that we just had, he just left to go to school. But he also was at Mountain View, so shout out to Mountain View
Yeah.
because you guys are doing it right over there.
Seriously.
But you were not kidding. This kid, his name is Cameron. Cameron, if you had a computer problem,
Right.
and I don't care what it was, we all knew Cameron. If Cameron couldn't fix it, then it was real broke.
We need to replace it if Cameron can't fix
Oh
it.
my God, my computer
Send us
is
the
dead in the
truth.
water.
Seriously.
Somebody send in Cameron.
Cameron?
Like
too
literally,
funny.
this kid is so talented.
That's amazing.
Absolutely, and he's looking to go into either robotics engineering or I believe might be more electrical.
Interesting.
That's awesome. Look at you guys.
Seriously,
Making a
man.
Positive
Yeah.
impact on the community. And
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool that we have that opportunity to work with younger generation and get those perspectives. You're the older guys, we're kind of in the middle there, but it's cool.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
That's super cool. Good for you guys.
Yeah, and thank God for those kids. I'm telling you.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm very quickly becoming, and you may feel the same way, I'm very quickly becoming that old person that's like, here,
feel
can
that
you
too.
fix my,
Straight,
like, I don't
dude.
know how to program this, like, I don't know how to run
Right.
the remote to the TV. Like, I used to laugh at,
Seriously. No, dude.
But
I'm,
it's-
yes.
this is a
Show me
real
how to work
problem.
my InstaFace. And
Yeah.
exactly. It's
TikTok,
just like,
what?
yeah,
Totally.
yeah, it's terrible.
Twitter. I feel like I've always been in between there. Like I can function better than some of the older generations, but then now I'm like, I know I'm old when I'm totally disconnected from the newer technology.
Well, it makes
right?
me wonder, like, when we were kids, whatever. Never even like the thought of having this, like, never would have entered our minds. Like, no way.
Especially with my first phone, the Nokia.
Yeah.
The one that-
Dude, I had the big like Flip Ericsson one, in 1999 or 2000, whatever it was. So it makes me wonder, like, what will this technology be?
10 years
when my kids, your kids are older, like,
Right.
like it's gonna be like
Be like Minority
some crazy,
Report.
some hologram machine or whatever, man. Yeah, who knows?
That's awesome. Well,
And then we will be asking them how to use it because I won't learn it.
I mean, I'm
Guaranteed.
still pretty upset that we don't have Jetsons flying cars,
Seriously.
but more upset that I don't have Rosie to clean my house.
Which would be amazing. The one thing, honestly, and I'm being totally serious, you guys, the one thing that I'm super bummed about that we don't have, that I was told as a kid we would have, were hoverboard skateboards. From Back to the Future, remember those?
Like, legit.
Yeah.
They-
hoverboard.
Yeah, how we
Hoverboard
Like
now
flying.
is still. It's
those
still
hoverboards
sketch.
are bullshit. They have wheels that touch the ground. That is not
That's
a hoverboard.
not a hover.
Don't. So, by that logic, any skateboard could be called a hoverboard.
Hover does not mean touching the ground.
No,
It means
that's ridiculous.
Well,
above the ground.
my thing is like, yeah, that's great. And if they come out with this, that's cool. I'd be stoked all about it. But whether it has wheels or it hovers, I'm still gonna break my hip if I jump on one of those things.
Yeah, if I fall off of it, I'm still gonna get really hurt. Yeah.
But for the
And the older we get, the
now-
likelihood of us falling off of it is exponent. That curve is doing that. Yeah.
So I'll just be as horrible on that hoverboard than I would have been.
But I want to hover so bad.
Yeah, I know, right?
I know.
Dude, that hoverboard that Marty
Well,
McFly
because
had
you
was
know
so
what?
dope.
Here's the thing. In my mind, 1990 was like 10 years ago at a minimum.
No,
I mean,
yeah.
like,
Oh my god, dude! I
was
saw
like yesterday.
seriously. I saw a meme the other day.
Yeah.
Like when, in 1999, like whatever year was as far ago as it is
30s
now.
or something.
Yeah, and I was like,
saw that. I
what?
saw that one too.
I saw that too, and I was like, that's
so
true.
I saw it and I was like, bullshit. But I did the math and it was true.
It was true.
Yeah, so I was like, that's not right. There's
Yeah,
no
it
way.
was true. I
When
was
you
like,
know you're getting old.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, that's
yeah,
insane.
that's just sick.
Insane.
They did create the Nike came out with the self-lacing shoes though.
Oh, that's true.
I didn't see that. How did I miss
Yeah.
that? They do?
Yeah, they actually
those
do
are,
have
those
one.
are, that's a real thing.
How did I miss
Yeah.
that?
Now I don't know what the price tag is on that or
Well,
what.
it doesn't even matter.
Expensive.
Nike, take my money. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly
My
right.
money.
So they're halfway there. They're almost to that hoverboard.
Yeah,
Right? So
dude, the hoverboard, man.
we'll see.
The hoverboard, I was told myself that it didn't matter, what it cost or like where I had to go to get it. When the hoverboard comes out, I will buy one, and now I will buy one for me and all my children.
Right.
All my children, my two children, and when Volkswagen finally actually comes out with the new Volkswagen bus, I will sell, trade in whatever I'm driving at the time, and I will buy
That
that.
thing is badass. Have you seen this?
Yes, it will be mine.
Is it out of the prototype stage now?
No,
Or
it is not available
but-
yet. No.
I
but
thought I
it's-
saw something about
it's
that.
Every
wonderful.
few years they
I
keep
want
saying, "Oh, it's
one.
coming out," and it never does.
They need to bring back the thing, the VW.
Dude, straight up,
Remember
yeah.
Those are cool. I
Those are
like the
dope.
old school ones.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. So when I was a kid, until I was in college, and it just wasn't practical because it was not very reliable. I drove a 1973 Volkswagen bus with the pop top and the the fold down bed in the back and the fridge, man. Yeah, so I always told myself that I will have a new one when it's available, and someday it will be. I will trade in my pickup tomorrow if that thing comes out.
In 1995, I had a baby blue Volkswagen Squareback with a bill of bonds.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
shit.
I lived on 8th
That's
Street. I was
legit.
living the high
Dude,
life.
you don't see the
man.
squarebacks around much anymore.
No.
Every once in a while, man, but yeah, not very often. Yeah, those are sick.
That's cool. That's What's new with you, Christian? Yeah,
Just doing real estate deals. There's a lot of stuff happening, man. I've got a bunch of stuff, deals in the works, deals getting close to closing, and there's a lot of stuff happening out there in the world. It's pretty fun, and for me, being on the commercial real estate side of things, like it's almost like this job or profession or whatever you call it was made for me.
Right.
I mean, my job now is to help my friends and just pair everybody together and help people's businesses be more successful.
Yeah.
And if that business is investing in real estate, yep, I can help you with that. If that business is like growing my coffee shop and adding another location, yep, I'm gonna help you with that. If it's, I'm trying to move my business out of my garage right now and I need a place to go, I'm gonna help you with that. And those are all actual clients that I have right now.
That's cool.
And so what I'm working on, a little more specifically, is in the world of commercial real estate, there are sort of, I don't know. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to do it, but what I'm focusing on is the tenant rep side, which means I'm not out trying, just talking to building owners and trying to, put my sign up and list their buildings. Honestly, that's probably the easier way to go, what I'm finding out for sure. But I like being on the tenant rep side, where my clients, for the most part, are business owners who, like I said, who need to find space, who want to buy a building. And that's who I like to help. As an entrepreneur and a business owner myself, I want to help those people.
That's incredible. And I
Yeah.
can see you kind of disrupting the norm there.
Yeah, I have disrupted some things, and I've had some super interesting conversations with some people at some large
Somebody's got it.
at some large commercial real estate firms that don't appreciate what I'm doing
Their views
necessarily.
don't align with
They
yours.
do not, and they're a little grumpy about it because if you've seen me like on Instagram or whatever, like my thing is don't call the sign on the door. Right? If you're a business owner, don't call the sign on the door. If you're looking to lease space and you find a space you like and there's a sign up, don't call the person on that sign. Don't call that person because they're working for the building owner or for the landlord. They have no interest in helping you. I want to help that person. So if you find a building, you find a space you like, call me. I will negotiate. Yeah, I will negotiate on your behalf and make sure you're getting a fair deal. Make sure you know what lease, what you're entering into, because the building owner, that listing agent, they don't care. They're working for them. And the super funny thing about that is, as a business owner, it doesn't cost you anything. I'm going to go negotiate on your behalf with the building owner, with the landlord, and then they're going to pay me a commission on top of it. So as a business owner, like my services and that doesn't cost them anything. Most of the time, 98% of the time. There's that one weird deal out there somewhere that that won't happen or whatever. But 98% of the time, as a business owner, you don't. It's just like selling a house, right? You sell a house, the seller pays the commissions and most of the closing costs or whatever, and kind of the same thing with commercial real estate. Yeah. So as a business owner, for me to help you find a space, advocate on your behalf, and help negotiate you a lease, it doesn't cost you anything.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And it's a win-win.
100% for everybody. Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. I mean, even for the landlord. Like, I'm gonna go find you a good tenant. It's probably gonna be a friend of mine, somebody that I know. Like, I'm gonna put him in a cool building, and everybody wins.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, it's fun, man. Yeah.
It's incredible. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, and I agree.
I mean, in being in real estate, obviously, I don't have a salary. I'm not getting paid right now for doing this. Unless I'm doing deals, I don't get paid. But as a career kind of trained salesperson, that doesn't scare me. Like, I know I can go out and make deals and do stuff and get paid. So it's definitely not for everybody, but for me, I'm pretty confident in it. In the fairly short amount of time that I've been doing it, like, I'm doing stuff. So
Yeah, no, for sure. I've seen it.
yeah.
Your content is incredible, and your presence is great.
Yeah, and I'm super lucky that this is what I get to do. Like I said, it's like it was almost made for me.
Well, and I think in the world that we live in now, post-COVID especially, prior to COVID, it's like we lived in this world where in the industry that you now work in, right? Like, everyone's a suit and tie, and everyone's very like stuffy.
Yeah.
And post-COVID, I feel like across the board, everything's
mellowed out a little bit. Yeah.
It's much more comfortable.
Well, those are
It's
button
much-
downs for me.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not wearing a tie. I'll put on a jacket that goes long, and maybe pants. I'll put on pants.
I have not.
Especially out in public.
Well,
but,
I mean, you mean long
appreciate
pants,
it.
not pants of any type, right?
well,
I mean, if he's not
I
leaving
mean,
the
working from
house.
home, yeah. I
last year it
mean,
was different.
when I'm working from home, yeah, dude.
This year, I'll put them back.
Just so
I-
you know, if you're ever on a Zoom, you don't know.
We all know that. I mean, whoever you're zooming with, I mean, there's a 50% chance that person is not wearing pants.
Yeah,
Like,
I
we all
mean,
know that.
It's true.
We all know that.
You don't have to leave the house. You can wear pants. I have not put on a pair of heels since COVID started.
Dude, the first time after like 2020, when we were able to go out and do stuff again, when I put on a pair of jeans, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, why did I ever wear these? Just felt so stiff and awful.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of used to it again now, but yeah.
Yeah.
If I don't have to wear pants, man, no way.
Oh yeah.
Oh, chance.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like you're just so approachable and real,
Yeah.
and that's what people want now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's probably one of the positive things that came out of the pandemic is that
100%.
everybody kind of reevaluated life in general.
Big time,
And it's
big
like,
time.
what's important to me? Well, there's a lot that's not important to me.
Totally,
And what I really
totally.
want and what I really value are people who are real and
Right.
authentic.
Especially in business development.
Yeah.
100%.
In sales, marketing.
100%.
Well, yeah, I want to do business with people who I know are the real deal and who are genuine and
Right.
authentically themselves.
I mean, that's always been kind of the old adage is, people
Yeah.
want to, all things being equal, people want to do business with their friends.
Yes.
All things not being quite equal, people still want to do business with their friends,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And that's why what we do is so important.
Yeah.
Somebody approachable.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and one thing that I hear, I mean, literally every day someone tells me, dude, it's so good to, meet somebody new in commercial real estate because all these other folks, like, they won't call me back. I need stuff. People they've done deals with before won't call them back. I'm like, dude, I'll call you back. Like,
Well, not only
I will bug
that-
the shit out of you until I get, if you call me, I will bother you until I get you back on the phone.
Yeah. Well, and on top of that, Christian, I feel like you're just, I mean, besides being yourself, you are also a memorable person because if I met 5 people wearing a suit
Yeah.
and I met you, who am I going to remember? I mean, and I mean that in all the best ways possible.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying is, like, you have personality and you are so genuine and so warm. And
appreciate
it's
that.
like there's so many people in real estate that are just It's
intimidating.
so cold and so intimidating.
Well, they're
and it's
very, yeah.
so,
I mean, same can be said for engineering and stuff. I
Oh.
mean, there's a lot of kind of
It's so-
robotic folks out there.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to be like that.
Well, and you know what's really interesting, and I think we've probably all encountered this, and it still boggles my mind. I don't understand this. So if you are watching or listening to this, I want feedback on this. Okay. So here's the thing. I've attended many conferences now, many different networking opportunities. And there's always these people that attend these events who clearly have no intention of actually wanting to work with anybody. You know what I mean?
Totally,
Like,
There for
totally.
the free food.
or like they're at a conference which costs thousands of dollars,
Which is not cheap to go
attend,
to,
right? Like,
and the time to go to it. Yeah.
right. The salary, the time,
Sure, yep.
the money. Okay, you're at these events. You know for a fact we're aligned, right?
Yep.
Like we should be working
Yeah.
together.
I know what you guys do. I know what I do.
We had a conversation.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
Like, why? Why are you here if you are not intending to work with people?
Or even have that conversation. Yeah.
Right. Like, I don't.
Because my company sent me here and I've got to be here or whatever, and I've got to come back. Yeah, I've got to come back with some stuff to show I did it, but
Right.
I don't care enough to.
Going through the motions.
Totally.
Like, and here's the deal. I too can be very introverted at times. I understand. And
It's hard
if
to
that
be
is,
on all the time, right?
yeah, like, I mean, yes, peopling is hard, and we could start a support group about that. That could be like a whole topic.
That's
we could
another
talk about peopling. A
podcast.
whole
That can be a
podcast.
whole series right
Peopling
there.
is
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
But when you're, the whole point of going to those, and like that's the part I love about going to those, is meeting these, different people,
Totally.
their outlooks on just the industry and what they're working on, and just them and
just kind of their
like,
story,
just
where they
meeting-
came from, and
Yeah.
how you end up here at this conference, man.
Right?
Yeah.
Like sitting at a table with, I had like a guy from Target International on one side, and I had an engineer, and I had Macy's, and I had, and it was so cool.
Yeah.
And like listening to all of their stories, and they were such amazing, engaging people. But then when the whole thing's said and done, actually getting people to
Chit chat.
to
Yeah.
actually come back
An
to
earnest
it,
conversation.
an earnest conversation is so hard.
Yeah.
So.
I think that's the nature of the beast in general. I think we're lucky that we're personable people. But for other people out there, get out there and just, don't be afraid to step up to somebody and talk and chit chat
Yeah.
with them and see what's going on in their lives and their business. So you can make those connections.
Yeah.
right?
I mean, one thing, going to, BOMA stuff, locally, or, other conferences, stuff that I've been to, like one thing that, that I found as someone who, who is, I've done I've taken the Myers-Briggs test 100 times in my life, and it always comes out like 100% extroverted. Like, I don't know how to, like, that's 100, like being around people and doing stuff like this is 100% where I get my energy from. Like the year of COVID, just like working alone in the basement, I was so depressed. The dark,
It was really hard.
the dark depths that I felt from just not being around people. I mean, my family obviously, but not around like people that I'm working with and doing stuff. Like it was awful. It was so bad.
Thank God I had my dog and cat.
Yeah,
company.
seriously.
That's
But
my
but
point.
but one thing that I found, like going to those conferences and stuff, is, I mean, walking in there knowing that the vast majority of the people, like more than half for sure, are pretty nervous about being there, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And are looking for somebody to talk to, but I don't want to go talk to that person or whatever. So if you can just be that person, like find somebody that looks like more lost than you,
Right, break
or
the ice.
yeah, and just
Yeah.
walk up and start talking to them.
Generally, that's what I try to do.
Yeah.
I try to look for the person that looks the most uncomfortable.
Totally, yeah.
Like this person looks like they want to crawl under
Yeah,
the table right
yeah.
now.
Be a friend and just go start talking to somebody. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, can I buy a cup of coffee, or if it's a happy hour thing, dude, what are you drinking now? I'm getting another one or whatever,
Yeah.
and then boom,
Yep.
friends. Yeah.
Totally, 100%.
So,
Yeah.
Those are great points.
yeah. And so a couple years ago, I went to with a client that we had. I went to a mining conference. It was all about mining in Reno, Nevada. It was, dude.
Seems like that's where a mining conference would be.
It was, yeah.
Virginia City.
It was, yeah. It was a perfect place for it. Like the people that are in the mining world are hilarious, by the way. I don't want to like go on record and like talk about some of the super funny stuff that I saw, but I ended up meeting a dude doing exactly that same thing. That it was well over a year after the conference, that the dude called me and was like, hey man, I don't know if you remember me, but you met at the conference, we had a cocktail, and I need you guys on a project. And we ended up doing a monster project with that guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I sort of felt bad because at the time when he called, he was telling me his name and stuff, and I was like, I don't remember this dude at all. Like, I don't remember, so I looked him up. Yeah, it had been more than a year, whatever. So as I had him on the phone, luckily I was standing at my, I had my laptop out, so I just pulled up LinkedIn. I'm like, oh yeah, that dude, totally, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So and that's the best thing about those conferences. I mean, it's planting seeds for the future.
Totally. I have theories too. Like Riley and I go to these conferences, and I love watching people. Like I'm such a people person, and I'm just so into just people, right? And I just also have this theory, like, it kind of goes back to that thing with, like, the suits, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like, it can be a sea of suits, but how are you going to be memorable?
Right. Yeah.
So I told Riley that the next conference we go to, I'm not wearing, like, heels and the like, normal
What are you
stuff.
gonna wear? What are you gonna wear?
I'm, like,
Are you gonna
legit.
buy one of those old Jamiroquai hats from the 90s?
Go like full like Run DMC tracksuit,
Oh, yeah.
Parachute pants are coming back.
parachute pants,
There you go.
I had
like brightly colored,
sweet pair of blue
or
parachute
super shiny,
pants.
like the super shiny, like reflective silver ones,
There you go. Yeah.
I bought
like the genie ones.
some super amazing glitter
Yes.
sneakers.
Oh.
Dope, dude. Yeah.
I'm definitely wearing those.
Perfect.
I'm really seriously considering getting some like kind of graphic t-shirts that are like some sort of, I don't know, saying on them that's like,
Office related,
something good, something like,
A good quippy like engineering saying.
yeah.
There you go.
And then a blazer.
Dude, that's my
Sweet,
jam.
right?
Yeah.
Because here's the deal. Everybody else is going to look the same in there.
Right.
And
Totally.
I want to be the one that where they're like,
Well, it's not like you're going to the country club or where
conference.
there's a there's no formal dress code. Like
No.
you need to look nice or whatever, but they're not going to not let you come in if you're not like
No.
super dressed up or whatever.
no.
Right.
So why-
I'm 100%. There was a guy at the last one. This was so great. Oh my gosh. Young guy, just finished school for some kind of engineering.
Yeah.
He was wearing the most brightly colored plaid suit,
Yes.
jacket and pants.
There you go.
Dope.
And
yeah.
I mean, you could see this dude from across the room.
Yep.
And I made sure I beelined it straight over to him and just straight up.
My man.
I need to know you, man. Yeah.
Brother, that suit is so fly. Like,
Seriously.
you
Yeah. Rad.
are
Yeah.
the raddest dude in the room. He was so proud of himself.
He should have
was
been,
like-
yeah.
But, I mean, everyone remembered him. Everyone knew who he was.
Just give me some ideas.
At the same time, like if you are super introverted and you do that, you have to be ready for the attention.
You gotta have,
Right.
yeah, you gotta have
Because I
confidence.
know people that that are super. I'm super smart, obviously, but
Yeah.
so introverted that if they were to do that, like the amount of attention they would get
they would die.
they would leave. They couldn't stay.
Yeah.
So you've got to know that if you're gonna show out like that, you've got to be ready for the attention.
yeah.
Be ready for people to talk
I'm
to you.
totally going after this. I'm gonna go get one of those like Reebok style full on tracksuits.
Do it.
ConDoc branded.
Dude, that would be so dope.
That'd
Yeah,
be awesome, right?
that would be so dope. Yeah, that would be so
Run
fly.
in with the-
Yeah.
the
Oh,
sweatband
that
or whatever.
headband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next BOMA meeting, dude, I want to see you mob it in there like
All right,
that.
we'll see.
Please
We'll
do
see
it.
if I can make it in time. But
Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna figure something out like that. That's a good idea.
Dude, that would be so sick. That would be
So fantastic.
that's like Royal Tenenbaum style almost, right? Yeah.
Forgot about that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. All right, you guys, I hate to do it,
Okay.
but I'm up against it. I've got a showing here in a few minutes, and I gotta go pick a
Gotta
dude up,
work?
and I do have to work.
Yeah.
So I gotta go. But we do this not every Friday, but most Fridays. So look for this. It'll be on social media, and everything in the next probably by the end of the weekend, first of the week. And thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you guys.
Have a good weekend.
Boom.